I think that's correct. I think North Korea for a long time has sought to go over the head of the South Koreans. That's why they often call South Korea the Yankee colony or an American puppet and things like that. And they want to directly interact with the Americans for a couple of reasons. First of all, the United States, of course, wields a great deal more force on the peninsula than South Korea. So the United States sort of just carries more weight, I suppose, because of its sheer size. Also, I think the prestige of negotiating directly with a superpower is something North Koreans really, really want, right? This is one of the reasons why the Americans have never actually given the North Koreans any kind of a presidential visit, because that's a massive concession in and of itself, the prestige of actually being in a chair next to the American president. And there's no way the United States is going to give that to North Korea without some really significant concession. And the North Koreans have never come through, which is why that hasn't happened. But I tend to agree. Yes, I think the North Koreans are trying to find a way to sort of put Seoul below them, sort of suggest that North Korea is the real Korea, and they negotiate directly with the Americans, not through their puppet.
So given this latest missile launch by North Korea, I think I'm getting this consensus from many experts, including yourself, Robert, that maybe it's time for talks and maybe North Korea is sending a message that, yes, maybe we are ready for some kind of negotiation. How do you advise the South Korean government as well as the U.S. government in terms of getting to that level when we've had so many years of being cheated, sitting down again and being cheated by North Korea?
Yeah, and that's ultimately really the problem. And this is why the Obama administration made one big effort in 2012. The North Koreans walked away from it. They started flim-flamming on it within a couple of weeks. And the Americans basically said, okay, we're not coming back to do this again. I think this is why the North Koreans need to send us some kind of signal that they actually do want to talk. I mean, this, to the South Koreans' credit, the new president Moon Jae-in, you're right. I mean, he came in, he's a dub. He's like, let's talk to North Korea. He's reached out repeatedly since he came in a few months ago, and the North Koreans have just sort of blown him off. I have the impression right now that the North Koreans don't want to talk too much. What they want to do is sprint for this nuclear missile status. Once they have that locked in, that's sort of the new status quo. Those are the new facts on the ground, and then force the South Koreans and the Americans to accept that North Korea is a part of the nuclear club. So they're going to hang tough until the rest of us adapt to what they are now, a nuclear missile state, and then they'll come back for talks in like a year or two. I think this is one of the reasons why President Trump, has pushed China so much, because I'm not really sure that we and the South Koreans can actually get a whole lot out of North Korea. We've tried, right? I mean, the South Koreans are making a big effort, but they're just not talking to us. As you said, they cheat so much. And I think this is why we've all been hoping that the China route might be more fruitful.